Take it away, Coach Juan.
Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to your Lunch and Learn here with myself, Juan Curiel. We have our coach Cecilia and we have our coach Bruce. And today we're going to talk a little bit about the benefits of repetition and the benefits of your attitude. So we're going to get started right away here with our coaches. So let's start with our ladies first. Cecilia, what's your point of view on repetition or attitude, whatever you prefer?
Well, let's go with the attitude. I love attitude. So for me, attitude is the flow of energy that you send to your brain and your brain responds to it, even according to the choice that you made. If you make some choice that is positive, then you're gonna bring positive energy there. If your choice is negative, stay in the problem, then you're gonna stay there and the negative stays there with you. So negative attitude is composed of what? The three things: your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. So we control everything. We have the power. We didn't know that. I didn't know that. I gave it to somebody else out of me. I didn't know. I was giving all the power to my teachers, to my boyfriends. Everybody was better than I because I wanna. So the power was given out of me. When I'm learning and participating in this seminar has given me the opportunity to be present that I am the owner. I am the owner with my thoughts and my responses to my thoughts. That is my attitude to decide who I am going to be. A happy person, a successful person, or not a successful person. If I made the decision that I am gonna be successful, then I gotta do some changes, and I'm gonna compromise with those changes. Then my attitude changes, everything changes. My results in life. So I've been having good results, but I'm learning all the way that I need to be present. That I have the choice in life. Every day is a new challenge for all of us. If we think about the moment, if we're present to the moment may us really even react. Our feelings, our attitude depends on our feelings and our words that we use. So my word to you here is to invite you to think what you're thinking and give yourself a chance to create your business, to create your life. So that you can do it any moment in your life. So we're gonna control what? Our brain. Our brain has two places, divided into two, let's say like it's a circle, and you divide that in half. The top one is the conscious mind, the one that we get when we're little. Then that when you get little, about 6 months, we start creating. Before we were born, then that mind is there. But it's receiving everything for mom, for dad, for uncles, for everybody, because the babies. We start going to college and we're getting knowledge from the outside, to like grammar school, to college. Then you're gonna start controlling that thought. So you control your thoughts, your feelings, and your attitude with your conscious mind. The subconscious mind is the other half, and it's the happy guy. Maybe not a happy, maybe I'll say the now unresponsible guy. He takes everything that is outside ourselves and take it and provokes the feeling. So I'm so excited to know that I can control my life and be a happy person in my business, be rich if I decided to be rich, so become rich person because I made up my mind to be that. That's it.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Coach Cecilia, for that introduction about the attitude. Bruce, is there anything you would like to add to attitude?
I just want to ask Ceci if she could repeat that. I'm just having fun with you. I'm exhibiting my playful attitude. So, yeah, what I'd like to do is just kind of summarize. I like what you said. that according to like Bob Proctor, and I totally believe this, our attitude is a composite of our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. So like you said, the thoughts are coming in from the outside, they're coming from history, and our conscious mind has the ability to accept, reject, or ignore any idea that flows into the consciousness. So if we don't internalize that, it has no effect on us, it has no effect on our body, it has no effect on our speaking. It's just not internalized. However, we can accept anything in the subconscious mind, and whatever's impressed upon the subconscious mind then dictates the vibrations that are inside of our body that we put out into the world. So the nature of the idea that is impressed upon the subconscious mind determines the vibration or the feeling that is expressed. So feelings are expressed. Say we had a negative feeling, we put out a negative emotion, negative vibration, and we get negativity in return. Conversely, if we bring a positive emotion, we put out positive vibrations. And I know that I sometimes, when I'm making a call, and I'm not sure how the other person's going to respond to my interrupting whatever they're doing, I actually physically smile while the number is being dialed, and my body then just begins to relax, and I'm okay with however the person sounds when they pick it up. So, as you can see, your attitude is determined by the nature of the ideas that you choose and permit yourself to get emotionally involved with. Then the physical expression becomes automatic. It doesn't matter if the conscious choice is positive or negative, we just have the response that we get by our attitude. So the attitude determines everything. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach Bruce. And you know what? The way that I see the attitude is like, if you download positive thoughts into your subconscious mind, you could always go to your subconscious mind and play those happy thoughts, those happy songs. It's like having a YouTube channel. If it depends on what kind of mood I am for the day. If I want to do some work, maybe I want to work out, I go and find certain songs in that YouTube channel. I type in the name and the song comes out. If I want to be sad, I go and look for sad songs. So you can have the ability to choose whatever songs you want. It's the same thing we do with our subconscious mind. If you want to have happy thoughts,
I do that with pens.
uh-huh.
I write a lot, and for me, I'm always looking for a happy pen. And currently, that's a gel pen where the ink flows nicely. Crazy thought, but I pick up a happy pen, a gel pen, and my writing is much happier.
See, that's another prime example that we get to use. It doesn't matter what kind of ideas or what works for you. It could be a pencil, it could be a pen, it could be a baseball bat, it could be football. Whatever works for you, make that work.
Right.
Even could be even the dress. You dress up. You feel different.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
So let's do it.
Yeah, it's all about the attitude. When you look at yourself in the mirror, we're like, I don't feel like this shirt's for me today. And what do you have the option whether to keep it on or and go throughout the day without feeling bad about whatever you're wearing. You have the choice to go and change. You can change. That's how fast you can change your attitude.
I love it. Go ahead.
And now we want to talk a little bit about repetition, because I know the time is essential for everybody here. So, Bruce, why don't you kick us off with the repetition?
All right. In full disclosure, I'm going to tell you viewers that I did a little research ahead of time, and I looked at what Bob Proctor has to say about repetition. And so I'm reading. He says, repetition is the mother of all learning. Each day you allocate a portion of your time to doing certain things. You eat every day, you wash your body, you get dressed. Well, if you want to improve the quality of your life, start allocating a portion of each day to changing your paradigm. And that's the collection of habits. Dedicate some time every day to building a new image in your mind. Read, write, and listen to or visualize something that depicts the life you really want. even just spending 15 minutes a day will pay huge dividends. And we see that in the work that we do together as coaches, that we read certain books over and over and over again before moving on to say the next chapter. I know that each time we do that, I hear something that I never heard before, and it's just what's been going on in my life. How does that fit with my life? So each time it's like, oh, wow, I never heard that thing before. Take it away, other coaches.
Thank you, Coach Bruce. Coach Cecilia, is there anything you would like to add about repetition?
And here, following him, it says, read, write, listen, or visualize something that you depict the life you already want. So we're going to create there. So the repetition, what we're going to use, we're going to read it, we're going to write it, we're going to listen, and to visualize what we want to create. When we create, we want to visualize that. Then we're going to see that the repetition creates a pattern in our brains. And then we start producing what we wanted to do. So this is read, write, and write takes us to produce a new thought. A new thought is whatever we want to be successful in life. And if we want to be successful now in doing this work together and allow us to help you and we helping you, then we're going to create a pattern that we need to read every day. We need to recall every day. We need to visualize what we want so we can get somewhere.
Beautiful. Thank you for that. Go ahead, Coach Bruce.
One last comment. I first began to experience the power of repetition when I became an introduction leader for Landmark Education, now Landmark Worldwide. And we had to go over and over and over and over the format, all those set pages of the introduction. And when I'm a participant, when I'm a student in the Introduction Leaders Program, it was a little bit difficult because I'm trying to memorize it. And then they say, once you memorize it, deliver it as if you created it. I'm like, I didn't create this. I don't always understand the phrases because Landmark is very good at working with language, giving things a new spin. But then as you become an introduction leader, what I found was the language from the format really became who I was. So when I would take a look at in my business, some challenge I have, I would begin to ask myself, what's missing? The presence of which would make a difference for me. And that's read out of the Landmark introduction. I love that question. What's missing? The presence of which would make a difference. I see that with the Bob Proctor information all the time. It's like, I remember internalizing that. So whatever I was learning that was not me became me because I loved it. And it was directing all my behavior, how I was with other people. And it was very effective. And this is very effective too.
Thank you for that, Bruce. And as I'm sitting here thinking about repetitions, like that's the only way that I was able to pick up a second language, which is English. It was through the repetition. But you know what's the important thing about here? It's nobody can do the repetition for you. I mean, I could have had somebody else do the exercises for me, but if I would have done that, then I would have never been able to pick up that second language. I had to take ownership of me, my language. I had to allow the conscious mind, the subconscious mind to work for me. And that was the only way through the repetition that I was able to pick up a second language. And that's so important with everything that we do in life. Maybe you're not picking up a second language. Maybe you're developing some new skills at work, or you're trying out a new business, or trying out a new program. I don't know. Whatever it may be for you today, like put it, repetition, writing, verbalizing, visualizing, whatever that may be, but put some action behind it. Don't you agree with that, Miss Coach Cecilia?
I love that what you said, because it made me present to my years of teaching. It's the same thing. You got these kids, 5th graders, 4th graders, and they're just eager to learn. But we're going to provide them the text that they're going to be discussing situations, and they're going to be being immersed in the content. In order to be immersed, You need to present the writing. They need to see. They need to hear you, and then they apply with the personal interpretation of the text. When they do the testing, when they do the evaluations, they respond to us. So for us, it's life. Life is we just don't see the moment that we're living, that we've been doing this since we're born. We're listening to our parents, and then they start writing the vowels in school. Da-da-da. And they repeat the vowel. You put it as a word, put it in another sound. Now put the sentence. Now put the paragraph. Now start writing. Start writing sentences and books. And that's where we are. So it's everything is a repetition in life. And it's the master of learning, since we are in maybe fifth elementary grammar school. 5 years old, we start there.
I love this conversation. I know that we got to wrap it up, because we got to be respectful of people's time. We were having a conversation earlier today, and you know how we can be offended if somebody doesn't say something exactly as we want them to say it, and in the time that we want them to say it. And we're talking about a word, 2 words, but they sound alike in Spanish. And not being a native Spanish speaker, Cecilia and her niece were trying to teach me a word. And I'm not going to say the word because Spanish speakers are going to laugh. Yeah. But it has to do with the but and something else. And
C-U-L-O in English.
Yeah, so I really didn't know what I was saying, but obviously I was saying the wrong one. But to the non-native speaker in that language, it's like you have no idea what that means to the other person. So that's where, when we are the native speaker, if we hear somebody say something in a way that we don't really like it, we don't know what they intended. When I first met Cecilia, I took her out to dinner. We had a great time. I was asking her questions about herself. She was speaking, At the end of our first night out, she said, "You are spoiled." And my feelings were hurt. At the time, I was making comic books with kids for no pay. I was coaching 5 people for no pay. I was just spending a lot of time, and I'm a divorced dad, so I was going out and taking my son out to dinner 3 nights a week so that I could be with him. It was like, I felt like I was doing good for the world, and she called me spoiled. And our mutual friend, she called me, she goes, "How did the date go?" Because she knew I was so excited. I said, "Not well." And our friend Anna said, "Why?" I said, "Well, she called me spoiled." She said, "Well, you're both adults. If you were speaking the same thing, if she meant what you meant." And I said, "Well, for me, spoiled is spoiled. But whatever, I'll give it a shot." So I called Cecilia. I said, "Cecilia, you called me spoiled." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "What do you mean by that?" She goes, "You created a life that works for you." I was like, "Doesn't everybody?" She said, "No, not me. I suffer." I said, "Okay. So I created a life that works for me, and that's spoiled." She goes, "Yeah. And you suffer, and whatever." She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, would you like to go out again?" And that was 17 years ago. So you guys out in the viewing land out there, same thing. If somebody says something and it almost sounds offensive, take a deep breath and think, did they mean however I'm interpreting it? And then if you have the opportunity, just kind of come and say, "Gee, what did you mean by that?" Because a whole new world will open up, I promise you.
Thank you for that, Coach Bruce. And we're going to switch it up to Spanish. We just want to make an introduction of Spanish speakers here. But thank you for tuning in, guys. And once again, if you want to be part of one of our classes, put in the hashtag attitude today. Hashtag attitude, and we'll get back to you again. We'll take comments, questions, whatever you may have. So please go ahead and type those things in there. And Coach Ceci, I guess I'll start here. Pues muy buenas tardes y gracias por estar aquí con nosotros en haciendo esta entrevista con nuestros coaches. Y Pues mi nombre es Juan Curiel, yo soy de México, yo soy uno de los coaches de aquí de Thinking to Success Academy y quiero introducir ahora a nuestra coach Cecilia, que ella es de Bogotá, Colombia, y nomás quería que les diera un saludo en español.
Mucho gusto, yo como dijo Coach Juan, and Coach Bruce, he knows me. I'm from Colombia, South America. And I want to say, I love people, like we do, all of people. We love
En español, por favor.
y nosotros queremos todo el mundo, tenemos un corazón muy grande y queremos ayudarlos también en nuestra gente. Ustedes que son muy importantes para nosotros. Este grupo se abrió para escucharlos, ver cómo podemos entre todos cambiar nuestra actitud y llevar a este cambio de actitud a que nos beneficie y tenga unos resultados positivos en nuestra vida, en las áreas que queramos en nuestra vida. Puede ser en el área del amor, en el área de la familia, en el área de las finanzas, que es el que hecho estoy trabajando. Cómo cambiar mi actitud para poder atender y poder servir mejor a nuestra gente. Y poder la actitud mía sea algo positivo y pueda transmitir ese positivismo y ayudarles cómo cambiar esa actitud que muchas veces de que no quiero hacer más, ay, ya lo hice mucho, no quiero hacer más. Reflexionar y utilizar esa energía, cambiarla a una energía positiva y así llegar a ser lo que somos, lo que queremos ser millonarios en Estados Unidos, en este mundo.
Beautiful. Muchas gracias, Ceci. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Coach Bruce, and thank you guys for being part of this Lunch and Learn with us here. And we're gonna bring you some more stuff tomorrow, so stay tuned and send in those questions. Thank you for now. Bye bye.
Muchas gracias.
Thank you. Muchas gracias.